Hey there, today we'll be solving a Leetcode problem that is from the Leetcode contest 277. Find all lowly numbers in the array. The problem number is 2150. The question is, you are given an integer array nums. A number x is lonely when it appears only once and no adjacent number x plus 1 and x minus 1 appears in the array. Return all lonely numbers in nums. And we can return the answer in any order. So what do we mean by this question? Let's take this first example. So I've just written it to save some time. So what do we have? So we have 10 right here. Okay. We have 10. We have 6. We have 5. We have 8. So let's just find that if I just take the first element, that is 10, do I have a next greater element and a previous smaller element? That means if I have 11 or if I have 9, so I'll just add on 1 to it and I'll just subtract 1 to it. So if I have an element that is 11 or 9, by adding 1 and subtracting 1 from this element, do I have it in my array? No. So this is one of the lonely elements. Now I'll go on for 6. So if I add 1 to it and if I subtract 1 to it, what do I get? I get 5 and I get 7. So is 5 and 7 present? If any of them is present, this cannot be a lonely number. So this cannot be a lonely number since 5 is present in my array. So this has been discarded. Let's get on to the next element, that is 5. So I'll check on if I have 4 or if I have 6. Previously I did have 6, right? So this cannot be a lonely number as well. So this is also discarded. So I go on to the next element, that is 8. So I'll check for if I have what and what, if I have 7 right here, or if I have the element 9 in my array, and we were not having these things. So I'll just take in this element as a lonely number as well. So this is what we get. So how do we do this? We simply use a hash map to store the frequency of these arrays. That is, I'll have 10, I'll have 6, I'll have 5, and also have 8. So I'll just simply check the I plus 1th element, that is this 10 plus 1. If 11 is present in my hash map, if I do it, then I'll see then I that I don't have it. And I'll also check for the I minus 1th element, that is 10 minus 1 is 9. So I'll just check in my hash map if I have these two elements or not. If I do not have these two elements, I'll increment the counter by 1. That means my answer is by 1. Again, I'll check in for this element 5 and 7. Do I have 5 or 7? Yes, I do have a 5, so I do not do anything. So my answer increases by 0, that means nothing. So I'll again check for this 4 and 6. 6 is there, so nothing. Then 7 and 9 both are not present, so I'll increment my answer by 1, and we get the final answer as 2. And this is it for the intuition behind this. So we just simply store the frequency of that element and check for the I plus 1 and I minus 1th element. If it is present, it cannot be your answer. If both of them are not present, that can be a possible answer, and increment the counter by 1. That is it for this intuition. Let's get to the code. And this is a code. So we have just incremented the value by 1 if that element is present in the array. So what do we have? If I have some number, let's say I've got 1 2, let's say 1 2 2. So what do you have? So in my map it will be stored something like 1 has a frequency of 1 and 2 has a frequency of 2. 2 has a frequency of 2 right here. So what do we have as a lonely number right here? We have nothing, since 1 plus 1, which is 2, is indeed present in my map, and 1 minus 1 is 0, which is not present, but one of the answer, that was 2, was present, so it cannot be my lonely number. So I'll just check in for 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1 present. Yes, it is indeed present, so this cannot be a possible answer as well. So this is what I have done here. I just simply incremented the frequency of every element in the nums array, and I just checked if it is already present. This is also condition. If it is already present in the map, it cannot be a lonely number as well. So if you have, say, something like 8 and 8, then it cannot be a lonely number there. So this is also a condition which is said here. it can appear only once. So if a number is repeated twice, that means, let's get to the second example. 3 is repeated twice here, but we see that 3 plus 1, that is 4, or 3 minus 1, that is 2, is not present here. But can it be an only number? No, since it is repeated twice. That means if the frequency of that number is 1, then it can be an only number, otherwise it cannot be. So this is also one of the possible conditions that is given in the question. This needs to be taken care of, and if the I plus 1th element is not present there and I minus 1th element is not present there, just simply push it back into the answer array that I've created here and just return the answer. That is it. I'll just run this code, and I've already submitted this while during the contest. I'll not submit this again. So if you want the code, you can just copy it from here, and that's it.